Portuguese language. I am the assigned teacher for Portuguese language in ReSOLT. So as you all know, ReSOLT is the platform where we can learn so many languages, or we can say it's multilingual. So they are offering or serving so many languages, so people can join ReSOLT and learn different languages apart from their mother tongue. So Portuguese is one of the language I am assigned to that. So let's talk about something on Portuguese. So first, let me tell you, this is the language which is the sixth widely spoken language, Romance language actually, around the globe. After Spanish, Italian and French, this is the most widely spoken language around the globe. So as we are learning through ReSOLT, so this is my PPT. Let's start. So this is the topic, Aprender Portuguese. That means learn Portuguese. Aprender means to learn. So learn Portuguese. Next we have the learning process. What is the learning process through ReSOLT? As we are learning through ReSOLT, so what would be the process of learning, whole learning criteria? So this process include, as we are learning through this institute, which also provides facility to learn virtually. Apart from offline, they also have the facility to teach virtually or online. So people who don't have time, who are busy in their work schedule, so they can join ReSOLT and study virtually. So this is the platform who is offering this facility. So apart from that, it would be two-way communication between the trainer and the student. Okay, so there would be two sides, like for the trainer and the student. Next, we have the whole learning process includes reading, writing, speaking and listening. So this is the whole learning criteria. We have 4 parts like reading, writing, speaking and listening. Students will get the textbook, homework or practice sheets, audio files, etc. Okay, so you will get these materials from the institute or via the institute or from the trainer. So you will get all these things just to study. Next, students will get all the additional notes. Apart from all these textbook, homework and practice sheets, audio files, you will also get the additional notes with English translation of each and every topic. Okay. Next, test would be conducted after every level. Okay. Next, this is the world map. So now we need to understand what are the countries who have their official language as Portuguese, or the national language of the country is Portuguese. First we have is Brazil, that is in South America. Okay, this is the biggest country who spoke only Portuguese in that country. So Brazil. Apart from that, we have Portugal, who also have that Portuguese as their official language. Apart from that, we have Angola, Mozambique in Africa. We have Sao Tome and Principe, that is in Iceland. Okay. Then Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is also a part of Africa. Their official language is also Portuguese. Then we have Cape Verde. Cape Verde is also an island. And then we have Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste is also an island, and leste means east. East, west or east. So east is leste in Portuguese. So the name of this island is Timor-Leste. Okay, these are the countries and islands where Portuguese is an official language, or you can say national language. Okay, then as you can see in the map, we have Brazil as well as Portugal. So these are the major parts for this language. So we have 2 types of Portuguese language. First one is Brazilian Portuguese, then we have European Portuguese. Now we need to understand what is the difference between these two. Although both are Portuguese, but there are little bit of differences between them, because these two are different continents also. So they have difference. So what are the difference now? Let's talk about the difference. So first difference we have is extent. So the first difference we have is of accent. So first, about the accent, Brazilian Portuguese. BP stands for Brazilian Portuguese. Brazilian Portuguese distinct lilting, cadence, and open vowels render it pleasant to listen to. It has a wide variety of distinctive regional accents. So lilting means rhythmic way. So Brazilian people talk Portuguese in a rhythmic way, much in a very calm way, rhythmic way, much in a very rhythmic manner actually. And cadence means rise and fall while speaking. Okay, so they speak in a rhythmic way and they use rise and fall while speaking this language. Apart from this, whereas the European Portuguese, some people find European Portuguese mumbled. Means this is, you can say this is very fast or not very clear. They don't have very clear accent compared to the Brazilian Portuguese. So regional differences in pronunciation are subtle in European Portuguese. Next we have is gerund verbs. The difference between Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese is gerund verbs. So Brazilian Portuguese expresses verbs in progress with the ending NDO. As in English, we use progressive tenses for continuous, present continuous, we use ing. Like if I want to say eating, so ending is for the eat, ending is ing, eating, sleeping, walking, running. So all have the ending ing in English. So in Brazilian Portuguese, they also have the similar kind of thing. They use correndo ending with NDO for progressive tenses. So as in English we have ing and in Brazilian Portuguese we have NDO. Like correr means to run. Okay, so if someone want to say who is running, may say estou correndo. Correr is the verb and we are just adding NDO in the end. Okay, but in European Portuguese, people would just say estou a correr. They don't use NDO in the end. After the verb, they don't use that. So estou and a and correr. This is the formula for them in European Portuguese. Then we have loan words. What are the loan words? Brazilians took media as in mass media from English, American English, Americanism such as flyer, happy hour and low carb are common in Brazilian Portuguese. So they take these things from Americanism, American English, whereas European Portuguese borrowed media from Latin Americanism. This is the difference, are frowned upon. Next, the difference is many vocabulary differences. We also have vocabulary difference between Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese. For example, in Brazil, if you want, you will tour Sao Paulo is the city in Brazil, and you can roam around in the city through unibus. We say unibus for the intercity bus. Whereas in Portugal, you can hop on an autocarro. Although both these things are same, both these are intercity buses. But in Brazil, we call it unibus, and in Portugal, we call it autocarro. Okay, so you can roam around with autocarro in Lisbon, whereas you can roam around in unibus in Sao Paulo. Okay, so we have the next difference, that is mouth openness. Okay, this is the way of speaking. Mouth openness. Brazilians tend to speak with their mouth more open. As I already told you, Brazilian Portuguese is a language where they speak very clear, with open mouth. That is very clear, sounds very clear. Whereas European Portuguese speakers talk with their mouth more closed. Okay, sometimes the accent or the pronunciation is not that clear compared to the Brazilian Portuguese. Then we have the difference in spelling. So, slight spelling differences abound in the Brazilian hissep sound. To the reception in English, they call it as hissep sound. The P is clearly pronounced in this. But in European Portuguese, the spelling is hisses sound. They miss the P part, okay, or they don't pronounce it. So the pronunciation is hisses sound, okay. Then we have the T sound. The difference between the T sound between these two languages. So Brazilian often pronounce T like ch. They have a pronunciation of ch. So English में we have the T, तो उनका pronunciation है ch का. Not always though, so be careful. So you need to study thoroughly for that. So it's always not the case or condition, but mostly they have the pronunciation of ch. Then we have in European Portuguese, T is pronounced like it is in English, as it is. So T is T in European Portuguese. Then we have the difference of polite third person. Okay, the polite third person is the next difference between Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese. So in Brazil, just stick with você. Você actually we consider very formal in European Portuguese, but in Brazilian Portuguese we consider it is semi-formal. That is not much formal. And instead of using it in a formal way, we use o, a, tenor or tenora. It can be tenor for Mr. and for Miss, it can be tenora. That is the formal form of Brazilian Portuguese. Okay, now let's have a look for the European Portuguese. Trying to be polite in Portugal, if you want to offer Nina more food, ask her, Nina quer mais comida. Does Nina want more food? So this is the formal form of European Portuguese. Okay. Then we have the difference of você and tu. Você versus tu. As I just told you, você we consider in European Portuguese is much formal. So in Brazil, você is used in most situations. Use a tenora or a tenor is highly formal situation. Okay, we can see here also tenor or tenora is the formal situations in Brazilian Portuguese. Okay, is highly formal situation though in the far south of Brazil, tu is used more frequently. Instead of você, they use tu form for the informal one. In Portugal, call your friends tu but use você with the stranger and people with authority. So we can call to family and friends, but for colleagues or for your companions or the strangers or the people with authority, we call você in European Portuguese. Whereas we can call tenor and tenora in Brazilian Portuguese. So this is the difference between você versus tu. Okay, now let's have a look some basic Portuguese. Okay, so the basic we can say greetings and goodbyes. So we have the term in Portuguese. So saudações e despedidas means greetings and goodbyes. These there are some basic terms for that. So let's have a look on that. First we have is bom dia. Bom dia means good morning. So this is very basic all around the world, all around the globe. That is good morning. So we can say bom dia. Bom means good and dia means day. So you can say good day or good morning. Then we have boa tarde. Boa tarde. So boa tarde means good afternoon. Boa is good and tarde means afternoon. So boa tarde is good afternoon. Then we have boa noite. Boa noite. And in Brazilian Portuguese, the accent is we can say boa noite because the pronunciation of T in Brazilian Portuguese is ch. So it's boa noite. Okay, that means good evening or good night. So in Portuguese, we don't have like different evening and night. Both have same. You can also call for the evening night and for the evening for the night as well. Both are night. Then we have hello. Hello or hi. We can say hola. Hola is hi or hello. Then we have, if you want to ask someone how are you, so you can say tudo bem. Tudo bem. That means how are you. Then we have another form of it. You can also say como está, como estás, or como está, depending upon the grammar part. Como está, that means how are you? Okay. Then we have ciao. Ciao is bye bye. That is actually very informal. We use ciao for the friends and family. And adios. Adios is very formal thing. So we can use it formally. Adios. Adios is also bye bye or goodbye. Then if you want to say see you later. See you later is ate logu. Ate logu. Okay, that means see you later. Or if you want to say see you in a bit. Okay, or see you in a while. Ate ja. Ate ja. Okay. And if you want to say see you tomorrow. So the term is ate amaya. Amaya is for tomorrow. Amaya is the term for tomorrow. So it's ate amaya. Then if you want to say see you next time. The term for this is ate a proxima. Proxima means next. Proxima means the individual word. Proxima means next. So the whole term is ate a proxima. That means see you next time. Then let's have some other examples in sentences. Like we have two people. Paula. Paula is saying, boa tarde, como está? Means good afternoon. How are you? Paula is saying. So now Pedro is answering. Estou bem, obrigado. E a senhora means I am good. Estou bem means I am good. Obrigado means thank you. And it can be obrigada for the females. Okay, obrigada for male, obrigado for male, and obrigada for females. So the sentence is estou bem, obrigado, e a senhora means and how are you, mister? So you can see here we are using senhora. This is quite formal. Okay, and how are you, mister, or how are you, sir? So the answer from Paula is bem, obrigada. So Paula is a female. So she is answering obrigada means I am well, bem, obrigada. Obrigada is thank you. O meu nome é Paula means my name is Paula. Muito prazer. Muito prazer means nice to meet you. Okay, or much pleasure. Much pleasure. Then Pedro is answering igualmente. Igualmente, o meu name é Pedro. So igualmente means you too. You too. Okay? Or o meu name é Pedro. My name is Pedro. He is now responding. Pedro is responding. Now let's have a look at the informal form of basic conversation. So Sophia is saying, hola, tudo bem? Hola means hi or hello. Tudo bem? How are you? Okay, she is saying, she is questioning. Then Manuel is answering. Sim, e tu? Sim means yes. S-I-M. The pronunciation is sim. Sim means yes. And the Manuel is saying, sim, yes means I am good. E tu? So you can see here we are using tu. That is quite informal. Okay, tu is the informal form. So he is using tu. So e tu means and you. And you. Okay, this is the question. Then Sophia is responding, estou bem. Estou bem. This is the same. Like the formal, we are also using estou bem. And for the informal, it's the same. Estou bem means I am good. I am well. Okay. Gostei de te ver. Enjoyed seeing you. Gostar is the verb here. This is the past tense of it. Enjoyed seeing you. Okay. Then Manuel is saying, you também means me too. You também actually is for also or too. So, I too, me too, also. Abraços para o Antonio means, abraços means hugs. Okay, hugs to Anthony. He's saying hugs to Anthony is another person. So, he's saying, then Sophia is saying, obrigada. Obrigada means thank you. Beijinhos para a Maria e até a próxima means thanks. Beijinhos means kisses. Abraços means hugs. And beijinhos is kisses. Kisses to Maria, and see you next time. And Ate a proxima means see you next time. So Sophia is saying Ate a proxima means see you next time. Okay, so this is the conversation, formal and informal. This is the basic conversation. Now let's have a look at the Portuguese alphabet. So it's similar to English, but the pronunciation is different. So let's have a look at the pronunciation of the alphabet. So the A of English, the pronunciation is A. 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 Okay? A is A. Then we have B. B is Bay. Bay. B of English is Bay. Then we have C. C is Say. Say. The pronunciation is Say. D is Day. Day, not the. From the tongue. Day. Then we have E. E is A. A. Then we have F. F is FP. FE. FP. Bit longer. Not this is in English it's F, but it's FP. Okay. Then we have G. G is J. J. Little bit of different sound, not clear J. G. J. Okay. Then we have H. H is Aga. 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 The sound is Aga. I is E. E. J is Jota. Jota. K is Ka. Okay. Then L is Ellie. M is Emmy. N is Any. O is U. P is Pay. Q is Ka. R is A. S is Essie. T is Say. U is U. V is Way. W is W. X is Share. Y is Espilion. Z is Z. So these are the pronunciations. Now what are the syllables? If you want to join for the A1 level or we can say beginners level, what would be the syllabus? So we the syllabus for A1 level is this consists of articles, feminine and masculine, cardinal numbers, time, plural, adjective, demonstrative pronouns, indefinite pronouns, possessive pronouns, verbs, that is to ser and star, that means to be. So this is the most common one, ser and star, verb present tense and verb present continuous. This is all about the beginners A1 level. Now next we have is A2 level, that we also call as intermediate level. So what is the syllabus? That consists of irregular verbs present, verb simple past, verb future simple compound, possessive pronouns, preposition part 1, part 2, relative pronouns, asking questions, ordinal numbers, verbs to be have present tense, verbs imperfect and giving commands, that is imperative also. Now let's have a look a difference between ser and star verbs. Actually, ser and star both are the verbs, that means to be. So in short, in the presentation, I have all the examples and details about this, but in short, let me tell you what is the difference. Ser we use, although the meaning is same for both the verb, that is to be, but the difference is ser we use for the permanent characteristics. If I want to say my name is Shabrin, so that is a permanent state that can't be changed. So we use ser verb. But for the changing state, we use star. Like I am sleepy, I am sick, I am hungry. For those things, means the changing patterns, we use the star verb. Okay, so in short, this is the difference between ser and star. So you can get all the details about that in the presentation. I have written over here. Let's come to the different part of it. The most people have a question because they want to attempt an exam to get a citizenship, or else they want to go to Brazil just to work or study. They have to appear in an exam that we call as CELPE-BRAS. that is for the Brazilian Portuguese. Okay, you have to appear in this exam and you have to clear this one. That is the Certificate of Proficiency Portuguese language for speakers in other languages whose mother tongue is not Portuguese. So they can appear in this exam after completing one or two or three levels. They can appear in this exam. Okay, so CELPE-BRAS is the only certificate of proficiency in Portuguese language spoken in Brazil, officially developed and acknowledged by the Ministry of Brazil Education. Okay, so we have the details here. This exam held twice a year for foreigners who need a certificate of proficiency in Brazilian Portuguese language. Then what are the syllabus? What are the features of this exam? So we have like written and oral part in this. So you can read the details about that. The written part, we have the written part that the duration would be 3 hours for that, for the written part. Then we have the oral part, where the duration of this part is 20 minutes. Okay, apart from writing, we have the oral part as well in this exam. The duration of this is 20 minutes. So they will check your understanding, pronunciation, and all this. They need to check your proficiency. So what are the proficiency level in Brazilian Portuguese? So as I told you, first we have is intermediate level. You have to complete your intermediate level, that is equivalent to A1 plus A2. If you are done with the A2 level, you can appear in the intermediate level exam. Then if you are already completed the B1 level, you can appear in the upper intermediate level, or you can also appear for the advanced level as well as for the mastery level. These are the different levels of this exam. So you can go through these dates and deadlines and the registration process. I have written over here. Then we have another exam, that is CEPAL. CEPAL is for European Portuguese. CELPE-BRAS is for Brazilian Portuguese and CEPAL is for European Portuguese. Okay, and similarly, if you want to work or study in Portugal, you will be probably need to satisfy the company or school to which you want to apply that you have a necessary language of Portuguese. To do this, you will need to take a CEPAL exam. The CEPAL is a certificate of proficiency in European Portuguese run by the University of Lisbon over there. And this examination is offered in Portugal and 45 other countries. Okay. Then they also have the levels like A2 level, intermediate level is, the name is different in European Portuguese. That is CEPAL for A2 level or intermediate level. And for B1 level, they have DEPL, DEPLE, for the, you can say, advanced Portuguese. Then we have DEPL for B2 level and C1 level is DEPL. Okay. Then you have also DUPL level, that is equivalent to mastery. You can speak like a native, then you can appear for that DUPL exam. Okay, so these are the levels of the exam you can appear. Okay, so first one, basic one is CEPAL. You want if you want to appear in this exam, at least you should be you should have the certificate till A2 level. Okay, and similarly, I have given here all the details about the examination, the eligibility, the criteria, the date, and the structure of the exam. You can get all these things in the presentation. Okay. Now that's all about the difference between the European Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese. The exam for the citizenship, or if you want to work or study over there, or if just you want to study this language just to stay in your own country and work in the MNC or so, you can just complete your A2 level, B1 or B2 and so on, and you can easily get a job in the MNC in your own country. But if you want to settle down over there, so you need these exams. Okay, and you need to clear these. Okay, so I think that's all for the presentation, and if you have any queries, you can go through this and you will find all the details. Okay, and anyways, thank you so much.